We are back with North Carolina DMV Commissioner Wayne Goodwin taking your questions. The number, of course, at the bottom of the screen if you'd like to ask him a little something. All right, this question is, does an 18-year-old who has never had a license nor taken driver's ed have to get a permit first? And if so, how long do they have to have it for?
No, once they reach the age of adulthood, they don't have to do that. But I'd still encourage folks to go through the private driver's ed if they'd like. So it's not required, but it's certainly recommended.
Okay. And this person's asking, can you renew a real ID license online if you're over the age of 66?
Yes, you can do that. You just have it's like any other driver license or credential. You can alternate online, and with someone 66 or over, it's every 5 years you can alternate online.
And just to clarify for folks at home, when you have a regular license but you want to get a real ID, you cannot do that online for the first time. You actually have to go in.
That is correct. For the first time that you seek and obtain a real ID, which is a federal program, you must go in person for that. But thereafter, it's like any other. You could renew online or go in person.
And for folks, because they always ask, what kinds of things do they need to bring with them to get that real ID? What kind of paperwork?
Right. There's just one extra document that you have to bring. I mean, if you already have a U.S. passport, bring that with you, and that helps tremendously. But you can go to ncrealid.gov or to myncdmv.gov. Basically, you need one additional document. It could be your birth certificate or your passport. There's some other documents that are acceptable, but it really is just one more document that you would have to bring.
All right, speaking of documents, when people go to get their driver's license and they're bringing, whatever documents they need to, let's say, to have their address and stuff, they have to bring proof of insurance. Now,
yeah.
Do they have to bring proof of insurance? Can they do it on their phone? Is it something that they have to actually have the document? What's the real deal?
The number one hiccup that folks who come in person have is they forget they need proof of their liability insurance, and you can't just bring a phone, because people you can fake something on a phone or on the internet. You need to bring the actual declaration page or a document from your insurance company that shows that you have liability insurance coverage, just to have your name on it. So that's the one thing people forget to bring, and sometimes folks have to have it faxed in because they've forgotten about it, and that delays your visit.
Okay. This person's asking, we moved, but we're still in North Carolina. Can we change our address online, or do we need to go to a DMV to change our address?
If you've stayed in North Carolina, I mean, you should be able to change your address online. There's some other things that are involved with that. When you change your address, it also impacts if you register to vote and other options that you may need to consider. I would say try going online, but you have to be eligible if there's any other services. So yes, you can do that, but do contemplate that you may have to go in person if there's some other factors involved.
Okay. This question is, can I renew my commercial driver's license online, or does it have to be in person?
Unfortunately, this one actually has to be in person, and when you're dealing with commercial, it involves federal guidelines too. We'd certainly like to help have an online option for that, but presently it's my understanding that it's going to stay for an in-person for the commercial.
Okay. Next question. This person says, I'm 71. I did my renewal online the last time I got my license renewed because of COVID. So am I right that I will have to go in person in 2025, the next time that they go?
If they went in person last time, you said they did online last time or in person last time?
They renewed online last time.
Okay. So since they renewed online last time, they would need to go in person this time. And if there's any other requirements, sometimes there may be a medical requirement, an eye test and the like, but they would have to go in person. And if you are, of a senior or have, reasons that you need assistance, we can provide special seating and special accommodations for folks who need that when they come in person if they're over age 66.